Hello and a heartily welcome to this new video. Our immune system, does that have anything to do with nutrition? Or the other way around, does nutrition actually help our immune system? Well, that's today's topics. I'm Dominika Hanschk and I'm glad that you're here with me to explore this idea. Our immune system is very, very important to our body because it keeps us healthy. So does our immune system actually have an impact on nutrition, or does nutrition actually help our immune system to do its job? Well, that's exactly it. Our immune system, or 80% of our immune system, actually lives in the gut. It helps the gut to decide what's good for us and what's not so good for us. So 80% of our immune system is actually close by the gut to decide what's good for us and what's not good for us. So there's a very, very close relationship between nutrition and our immune system. So, how does that work? Well, I want to explain that a little bit more with my own experience. A couple of years back, I had actually irritable bowel syndrome, so I was having lots of problems with my tummy. I was feeling not very well because my belly was just so bloated. I would have issues with gas. I would have issues going to the toilet. I would have cramps. I would not feel very well. And especially when there was stress coming on, I was just like, oh my God. I would just sit on the toilet for hours on end because I wasn't feeling very well. And then you go to the doctors and they do lots of tests and they say, oh, it's this, it's that, and whatever. And you try lots of different diets like gluten-free and reduced lactose, reduced fructose, and so on. And you're just trying one thing after the other, but you're not feeling any better. It's actually quite funny. I actually found out how to feel better because a guest of mine in our fasting hotel asked me, Dominika, is it actually possible to fast ketogenic? And I'm like, oh, what? And he explained to me the ketogenic diet he was on, and he actually wanted to find a way to do that, to do his fasting in the same way. And I said, okay, I have to try that one. I haven't tried that one yet, that kind of diet. I need to find out how that works, how my body reacts, and then I can tell you whether you can combine that with fasting and in which way it would be suitable. And the funny thing was that within 2 weeks, all my gut problems were gone. And I was like, oh, what the heck? What's going on? So I found that very interesting. And that's what inspired me actually to look into this whole issue, how the gut works with our immune system and how nutrition influences how our gut behaves and how it works on the immune system. And well, that's why I can actually talk about this topic with you today. So, the first thing you need to understand is that 80% of our immune system actually help the gut. Because what's inside our stomach, what's inside our gut, is actually the outside world. You would think, well, that's inside, right? Yeah, but everything that's in our gut is actually the outside world. And the immune system helps us to decide what's good for us and what's not so good, what's toxic. Okay, so our gut cells, they are very, very closely interlinked. It's called tight junctions. Yeah, so those cells are really, really tight together, so that nothing that's in the gut can actually get outside. And only the good stuff, like the minerals, the vitamins, the nutrients, can actually pass using certain transporters to go through the cells into our bloodstream or into our lymphatic system. And the immune system has a very good look. What's coming there? Is that good or is that bad? And that's how it's supposed to work. But parts of our nutrition that we have today, we didn't used to have many thousand years ago. Yeah, like for example, wheat. Wheat wasn't a traditional thing to eat. It's only about a couple of thousand years that we eat wheat. And the thing is that we eat it in such amounts nowadays that it's nowhere comparable to how it used to be. Within wheat, there are certain protein structures that actually influence how our gut cells behave. Okay, so there's a protein called gliadin, and this molecule can actually dock to the cells and produce some stuff which is called zonulin. And zonulin influences how the junctions, the tight junctions between the cells work. So zonulin actually opens up those tight junctions so that there are holes in the gut. That's what happens when you have leaky gut syndrome. So you've actually got holes between the cells, and molecules which weren't supposed to go into the bloodstream, which weren't supposed to go in the lymphatic system, are now able to go through. And the thing is, it's not bad that this process happens that way, because there was a time in your life where this was a very, very important thing. So when you were a child and you actually you were breastfed by your mother, it was important that you had a leaky gut. It was absolutely vitally important that you had a leaky gut, because the protein structures had to go through these holes in the gut to actually keep you healthy. Yeah, so it was really, really important. But as an adult, we don't need that anymore. We don't need a leaky gut. It would be much better if those tight junctions would work properly and no toxins would pass our gut cells. But this zonulin actually opens up the junctions, the tight junctions, so that we have these holes again. And now bigger molecules, bigger protein molecules go through those holes, and they're in the bloodstream, they're in the lymphatic system, and our immune system says, well, you're not supposed to be here. Come on, I have to fight you. The easy way, or the first thing that happens, is that you have allergic food reactions. Okay? So you develop an allergy that you can't eat certain foods because they make you feel sick. Okay? Or your body is kind of like overreacting to stuff. And if it gets worse, we actually have, what happens is that our immune system is trying to build antibodies against those molecules. And some of them look actually pretty close to certain structures in our own body. And our immune system has to decide what's us and what's not us. And because those structures look very similar, we actually now have autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto, because our immune system is reacting towards structures which are actually our own cells. Yeah? And that's all just because of leaky gut. And the trouble is that the zonulin doesn't just only work on the gut cells, it actually travels now through the blood, and it actually does exactly the same thing with our brain-blood barrier. Okay? So it also opens up the brain-blood barrier, and now stuff that's not supposed to go into our brain is going up into our brain and causing havoc. And that's a very, very difficult thing. So nutrition has a lot to do with our immune system. And our immune system does have a lot of impact on how we actually metabolize stuff from our gut. Okay? So can we actually help our immune system? Absolutely. If you have any kind of tummy problems whatsoever, I would recommend reduce your wheat, and don't just go gluten-free. Really reduce your intake on carbohydrates from anything going into this kind of direction, like wheat or bread, cereals, etc. Because this is really causing havoc on your gut, and it changes the microbiome of your gut into a way that's not healthy. Okay? We would actually thrive on gut bacteria like lactobacillus or bifidobacteria, and they actually get reduced when we have these kind of issues. And it's important to help them again to grow, and to also support our gut cells with certain fatty acids, and help our immune system to keep everything right. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, obviously you eat your greens, yeah, vegetables, fruit, salad, very, very important, so that you've got your vitamins, that you've got your minerals, that you've got your yeah, all the fibers that you need to keep your gut healthy. And that helps your immune system as well. And obviously, there are certain aspects like vitamin D. Vitamin D is very, very important. Yes, we can get some with our nutrition, but we have to actually supplement because vitamin D is a stimulant for our immune system, and it helps activate some of the cells in the immune system. So it's really, really important. But can we do something else? Well, yes, because what you have to keep in mind is that every time you eat something, your immune system has actually step up and say, oh, what's coming there? Okay, that's good, that's it. Oh, nope, don't want that. And if you eat only 2 to 3 meals, that's good, that's easygoing. Our immune system will just look, oh, that's coming in, yeah, that's okay. I can look after other things now. But if you're one of those grazing people and you have breakfast at home, breakfast at work, latte macchiato, lunch, coffee and cookies and a snack and dinner, and yeah, I need some chips and a beer at home for yeah, watching television, then your immune system has to work all the time, and it's just focused on looking at what you're eating and whether that's good or bad. So you can actually help your immune system with your nutrition, not just with what you eat, but also how often you eat something. And that's something I would recommend to you. Look on one hand what you're eating, but also look at how often you eat something to help actually your immune system to yeah, thrive, to be healthy, and to give you a good life. Well, that's basically it, the things I wanted to explain to you. And yes, the ketogenic diet has helped me a lot in actually overcoming these problems with IBS. I'm not eating ketogenic every day, but I found a way to eat mostly ketogenic. And in summer, for example, I eat a lot more fruits, etc., a lot more fiber. That's okay. And yeah, I feel well, and I hope you can find that way for yourself too. I would be glad if you're here with me next week again, when we have the topic immune system and exercise. Yeah, how can I influence my immune system with my movement patterns? What kind of sport can I do to actually help my immune system? And yeah, that's the topic of next week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. Bye!